Okay, Packet Tracer Activity 3. Configure end devices. Part 1. Build the topology. Step 1. Create the devices. Deploy a 2960 switch, 2 PCs, and a server. Step 2. Connect the devices. Connect Fast Ethernet 0 on PC 0 to Fast Ethernet 01 on switch 0 with the copper straight through cable. B. Connect Fast Ethernet 0 on PC 1 to Fast Ethernet 02 on switch 0 with the copper straight through cable. Connect Fast Ethernet 0 on server 0 to Gigabit Ethernet 01 on switch 0 with a copper straight through cable. Okay, part 2. Configure static IP addresses. Step 1. Configure IP address for server 0. Click server 0. Click the desktop tab. Click the IP configuration icon. Verify the bullet static is selected. Enter 192.168.1.1 in the IP address field. Enter 255.255.255.0 in the subnet mask field as needed. Close the IP configuration when done. Step 2. Configure IP address for the PCs. Click PC 0. Click the desktop tab. Click the IP configuration icon. Verify the bullet static is selected. Enter 192.168.1.2 in the IP address field. Enter 255.255.255.0 in the subnet mask field as needed. Close the IP configuration when done for PC0. Repeat the same procedure for PC1. Use 192.168.1.3 as the IP address for PC1. Part 3, Verify Connectivity. Step 1, verify connectivity via the command prompt. A. Verify that all the link lights are green. Click PC0. Click the desktop tab. Click Command Prompt to open the PC command line interface. At the prompt, enter ping 192.168.1.1. If you have done everything correctly, you should see the following output. Your output could vary, but the reply statements should be there. If the replies are not there, try redoing the device configuration to this point. So it's successful. Okay, proceed. Letter F. You can also pin PC1. Navigate to the command prompt for PC1. Enter the command ping 192.168.1.3. Close the command prompt when finished. Step 2. Verify connectivity via the web browser. Click PC1. Click the Desktop tab. Click the web browser to open the web browser application. Enter 192.168.1.1 in the URL field and click Go. The Cisco Packet Tracer web page should open. Okay. Close the web browser when finished. You can also use the web browser application on PC0 to display the Cisco Packet Tracer web page. From the desktop tab, open web browser and enter 192.168.1.1 in the URL field. Okay. Part 4, Basic Switch Configuration. Step 1, the Configuration tab. Click Switch 0. Click the Configuration tab. Note, the Config tab is not always available on physical networking equipment. Some simple devices only have config tabs. The config tab can be useful for basing learning of commands, especially for beginners. So let's proceed to letter C. The global settings allows a user to change the name of a device that displays in the workspace. It also allows for changing the internal name shown at the command line prompt as well as buttons for saving, loading, exporting, and erasing configuration files. Double-click in the host name dialog box to highlight the word switch. Enter Central to replace switch as the host name. Packet Tracer will display the iOS commands necessary to accomplish the name change in the equivalent iOS commands box. The commands displayed should be as follows. Okay. This would be the commands used from the command line interface or CLI to change the hostname. Okay, so since it's successful, let's proceed to letter D. Click the Fast Ethernet 01 under the interface heading to configure the Fast Ethernet 01 interface. In the equivalent iOS commands, the command interface Fast Ethernet 01 is displayed in the equivalent iOS commands box. Okay, done. Okay, step 2. Select the CLI tab to switch the CLI interface. Notice that the same commands that were in the equivalent iOS commands box are listed in the CLI window. At the prompt, enter shutdown. So this command just shut down the interface down from the command line. Letter C. Navigate to the workspace. Notice that the link lights for the connection between PC0 and switch 0 are red because the interface on the switch was shut down. The connection is no longer active and shows red.